Welcome to the 311 Griffin YouTube channel. I wanted to show off a skin that I made for the A-10C in DCS, patterned after Tarheel Hal, which was a P-47 Thunderbolt in late World War II that you see here. The P-47 Thunderbolt is one of my favorite aircraft of all time. It's certainly an iconic aircraft, built as a fighter, big, heavy fighter, in fact the biggest and heaviest single-seat fighter of World War II. It really found its niche as a ground attack aircraft. It served pretty well as a fighter. In fact, in some occasions it absorbed quite a bit of punishment from the enemy and continued to fly and got its pilot safely back home. It was powerful, it was fast, it had pretty good range, especially with drop tanks. And so it made a good escort fighter, but the P-51 Mustang proved to be a little bit better at that role, and the P-47 found itself doing a little bit of grunt work, firing at ground targets, and it wound up being excellent at this particular role. Its resiliency found a good place here as well. There were pilots who were a little target fixated perhaps, and maybe flew a little too low, and there are many reports of treetop foliage being caught in the aircraft in various places when the aircraft got home. But it got its pilots home safely fairly frequently. So again, the particular aircraft that I am patterning this skin after is Tarheel Hal, which was an aircraft, late war aircraft. It was flown by Ike Davis of the 356th Squadron, 358th Fighter Group out of Toul Air Base in France. There is an aircraft that is painted up like the Tarheel Hal that is based out of Texas, I believe, that frequents the air show circuits. Very beautiful aircraft. I like it because of the bright colors, and I don't know, I just like the Thunderbolt, and I like the skin of the Tarheel Hal. It's an interesting skin. So here you see a couple of my other A-10C skins. The first one that you saw was my first ever skin in DCS, and then I didn't like it, so I updated to a personal camo pattern. So let's fire up the Tarheel Hal here and get the A-10C version of the Tarheel Hal up in the air. As we get up in the air, I want to talk a little bit about the legacy of the P-47 that resides in the A-10. So the P-47 proved that a small-ish single-seat aircraft could really excel in the ground attack role. Long loiter times, heavy ordnance capacity, a good gun, and a good pilot matched up in a sturdy, resilient airframe could really be worth its weight on the battlefield. After World War II, of course, the next aircraft in this series of evolution of the ground attack, close air support aircraft was the Sky Raider, which served in Vietnam and did very well. And then, of course, the A-10 was developed as sort of the next successor. And the A-10, many consider, me included, the A-10 to be sort of the ultimate in that close air support ground attack role. Of course, there are a lot of areas where you could improve it and update the technology, but the A-10 is just absolutely excellent at this role. It can stay in the air a long time, can loiter to make sure that it's there whenever troops on the ground need it, or when a target of opportunity pops up. It can carry quite a bit of ordnance. Of course, it's got the very amazing GAU-8 30mm Gatling gun on the front. And so it definitely carries on the legacy of the P-47 Thunderbolt, which is why it is originally named the Thunderbolt II. Now we lovingly know it as the Warthog because of how ugly it is to so many people, but it's definitely a beautiful aircraft and has proven its place on the battlefield time and time again. So anyway, I hope you enjoy the skin, and I will put it up on the Eagle Dynamics in the user files and provide a link to that Anyway, not necessarily the most modern military skin. A little bit too visible perhaps, but it's a good looking skin. Doesn't translate properly over to the A-10 necessarily. Obviously the dimensions and and all that are quite different than the P-47, but I wanted to create this throwback to the P-47 and have a little bit of fun skinning, and so hopefully I have made what everyone will hopefully consider a decent skin here. So thanks for watching, and happy flying.